Hey people, what's going on? Welcome to Real Tough Talk. Tough Talk.
How is that even possible?
Tough Talk.
Whoa! Stephen J. partner goes,
Show some respect. You did not answer the question.
he's a bad man.
Bad man.
He's a bad. He finally said it.
The slipper's gone. The dress has holes in it. The cart turned to Tough Pumpkin again. So what else you gonna do?
I guess this team couldn't cover a twin mattress with a king size sheet.
Lights out season.
Lights out for you. Let's get as quick into the game as possible because I am not staying in this wig longer than I have to.
I want to part. Play it out, bro. While you talking this guy.
Expect your guy to do their f***ing job. Just worry about your f***ing job. Execution is all it's about. You do your f***ing job. That's all we need from you. Yo, fellas, we better than every f***ing body in this f***ing league. Let's f***ing go. Hometeam on three.
Everybody here for a reason. Everybody here for a reason, so show that.
On defense, the mentality is kill. Let's go, kill. Yo, Hometeam on three.
Offense first, though,
We in
y'all.
here, let's
Let's
get this
go.
fucking
Let's
done.
go.
Yeah! Hometeam on three. 1, 2, 3. Hometeam! Let's go!
You understand what I'm saying? Don't worry about what anybody else got to do. I'm going to give you an assignment, you take care of your assignment. If we all take care of our assignments, we get the job done. And that's what we came to do, to get the job done. One more game to the biggest game in the world. That's what we came here for. Right. Anything else is a bust. Let's go out there and play football. All right? But most importantly, let's go out there and have fun. All right? Let's go out there and have fun. 60 minutes of fun. 60 minutes of football. Let's go. UTF football. Oh, yeah. UTF football. I'm down on 3. 1, 2, 3.
What is going on, people? I am so blessed and humbled to be here with y'all today on the return of Real Tough Talk in the BQFL. I'm Stephen J. I'm here with my partner Ghost, and we're so excited to be back in the BQFL. And today we're covering the Final Four to go to the championship.
It's always a treat to come back to showcase these championship games and these Final Fours, you know, these huge playoff games, because regardless of what league you go, you're always going to find guys willing to give it their all to get their team to the promised land. And I am so glad that I'm able to showcase that right now.
And shouts to the commissioner, BQFL Commissioner Darren, for bringing us back, making us, bringing us, how you say, having a little reunion that you could say with us and BQFL. Every time we're together, it's a success. And we want to thank him for bringing us out here. Brooklyn always shows us love. Last time you guys see us, we was covering the UFL Championship All-Star game, and now we're excited to be here in the BQFL. Now, to get straight to the point, we're going over the Final Four. Listen, first game we want to talk about is going to be UTF versus Hometeam. Hometeam just come off of beating Young Gods in a close one, 14-13, as UTF comes in blowing out Sour Factory, 41-21. So both these teams, you know, they got here in different ways. One got here easily, one just got here by the skin of the teeth, but it don't matter because both need a victory in order to move to the next round.
And at the end of the day, each round makes for different methods to win games. So just because you won one method in terms of taking advantage of the team or scraping by, that doesn't mean that the next game that you play is going to be just the same. So it's always next game up. It's always a new approach and most likely a new outcome at the end.
And these teams, this is going to be a great game because these teams are kind of familiar with each other, especially Home Team's superstar, which is Eric. Y'all know him as Rico. He goes by E, different names. At the end of the day, he's one of their best players, if not their best player. And he has a little more incentive because he's playing against his former team in UTF. So before we go over the matchups, we're going to go to his interview as we talk to him right before the game.
What's going on? Stephen J here with E of Home Team. They're playing UTF to go to the championship. Is it a bigger chip on your shoulders because you're playing against your former team?
Not really. It's just more of a statement, just to, you know, really show guys that I am I am the noise when I play with you. So it's like more I'm just trying to show people that, you know, I am needed when on the team, that I am an asset.
Close game last week. You was able to come through. What y'all got to do this week that y'all didn't do last week?
More communication on the defense. Defense get more stops. Defense get more hands on the ball. We determine what happens with our offense. So if we get more help on the defense, then we'll be great.
Last question. You're really close with Hecko. What do you know he likes to do that you're going to stop him this week?
Just say, I'm just going to play the middle, and that's all we're going to say after that one. I know it's coming to the middle.
All right, we're going to thank you and wish him good luck, man. I appreciate the interview. All right, brother. All right, we're going to see you on the site.
You see his height. He's ready. One thing I can say about this kid, he's not at a lack of words. And I think he brought a very important issue, the thing we really want to talk about, the case, the tell of the tape of both quarterbacks. You have Hecko, won the championship in BQFL in the past. This guy is kind of disrespected. They don't give him the props he needs as a quarterback. The props I would say he deserves as a quarterback. I think because of his style, he tends to make mistakes here and there, but the guy has won some big games. And the other side, you have Kuda, a guy who throws in EHS, a guy who's definitely a part of that IOD pedigree, a guy who knows about winning, who's bringing his team here to try to get them to the championship. So these are two, usually you have two different type quarterbacks. I think they're similar. They're not big mobile guys. I think Kuda got a little stronger arm than Hecko. I think Hecko's a little more accurate and willing to chop up the field, while Kuda's looking straight for the fences with that home run ball.
And both quarterbacks are going to have to be efficient in their main play styles. If Kuda's going to be going downfield, he has to be accurate, because if not, the defense is going to take advantage of every mistake that he makes. Fortunately for him, he has some playmakers on his team. Not only does he have E there, he also has Dash, a guy who's, still showing that his ceiling is very high. He hasn't hit it yet. So he's a guy who's still able to show and showcase a lot of talent out there. So these two weapons, with a lot of other pieces that this team has, is a team that's formidable. And if they're able to be as efficient as they've shown in the past, they can have an opportunity to come away with a win here.
And it's amazing.
Sorry.
Just to give him a little idea of background of Dash. Dash was just in the UFL championship. He just played with one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time in Chuck. And this kid Dash had a great season, breakout season, made the UFL All-Star team. So this kid is definitely a weapon. But on UTF, listen, they got some playmakers. They got Kenny, they got Dre, a former UFL MVP on this team. G, former block of the year. This team has several weapons. And I think they can match home team's firepower. And I do believe they can shut down their not only ability to go downfield, if they could shut down their ability to trash talking. They have the guys on the other side that could do the same thing right back at them.
Yeah. And one thing about UTF that they never shy away from is bringing that energy to the field. No matter if they're trash talking, no matter if they're playing hard, whether they're putting it there all on offense or being physical on defense, this team always has energy no matter what game they play. And I think that that's one of the main factors that gives this team so much success. And they're looking to bring that on the field here. And they're looking to bring that here to get them this win.
All right, we're going to jump right into the game with home team getting the ball. On second down, Kuda throws to DG in the middle, almost picked up by Steve-O. Steve-O coming out that Rep City camp, definitely a physical corner. Great play by him there. Third down, Kuda throws an E, cutting in the gap for a nice game, picking up the first down. And that's the key. He has to be involved in this passing attack. This kid can make plays. This kid, I always think he's just a few plays away from being considered a really, really good player. Great play there. Second down, Kuda throws the E cutting in the middle, knocked away by Kenny. The question was E held? What do you think of the play?
And if you look at this play right here, I think that there's enough contact for you to say that Kenny probably got away with one here, but he does it really well to the point where by the time it happens, the refs are not able to catch it. So again, That's part of the game. Not to say that it's something that we merit or whatever, or anything like that, but it's part of the game, and this offense has to find a way to get through that. Unfortunately for them, they don't get the call there.
We're going to go to last down. Kuda on Firebrush finds Dash cutting in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, Red is guarding another receiver and leaves the sideline, and Dash finds the end zone. DG gets the extra point. 7-0 home team. Listen, I already said it before. Dash is definitely a playmaker. He makes another play here. Kuda with the great pass, getting them in the end zone.
And the thing about this is, if you look at the defense here, there's no communication, because if Red is covering another defender, he leaves the sideline. There's nobody to replace that area there. So you can't go man and then leave the sideline wide open. Somebody else has to fit that gap, especially in the fact that if you look at other defenders, some guys are playing man, some guys are playing zone. So if you're going to play a defense, you got to communicate. They don't do that there, and the sidelines are wide open for the score. And the worst person to leave open is Dash, and they're able to find him for the score there.
We're going to jump. UTF gets the ball. First down, Heckel with blocking from Will is still sacked by White. Whitey coming with a great play. The kid makes a play here. Next play, Heckel throws a Measle on the sideline for a nice game, picking up the first down. See, what I like about this play is the sack did not affect Heckel as much, and he's able to make a big play right after that. Then Heckel throws a Rich in the gap. Rich with a nice catch, getting him to the 7-yard line. Listen, we call Rich, sometimes it could be a head case. Sometimes the guy could make some head-scratching plays, like what's wrong with him. But I think we're starting to really see that Rich can play offense. He can make plays on the offensive side of the ball. He comes away with a big play here. Second down, Heckel throws a G on the sideline, who runs it into the end zone for the touchdown. If you look here, no defender on the sideline, and they're going to find the end zone for the touchdown. Mizzo gets the 2-point conversion, 8-7. UTF scores right back.
And right here, if you look at this drive, I would say besides the sack there, this defense gave up way too much on this drive here. This was not really a tough drive for UTF in this for Heckel in this offense. If you look, he's finding the guys in the gaps. He's driving down the field. Starts with Mizo, a receiver who has to be watched out there because he has height and he's also athletic, and he's able to find these rest of these receivers. The same mistake that the defense made in that last drive, you do the exact same thing when you took advantage in that last drive. That's something that's lack of communication. You leave the sideline open, and G is efficient enough on offense that he's going to get a play like that eventually, and they do that and get the score here right back.
Home team gets the ball back. First down, Kuda on Firebrush is sacked by Rich. Listen, we just talked about Rich. We just seen Rich made a great catch offensively. Now we see him make a great play defensively. If this guy can stay consistent on the mental level, he can be a consistent playmaker. Great play there. After getting the first down, Kuda throws feet to Dash, open on the sideline, caught in the end zone for the touchdown. Kenny intercepts the extra point, but it's 13-8 home team. If you look here, Red and Face is not talking, leaving Dash open. We seen Dash do this in the UFL. And we said in the beginning of the game, Kuda is a straight Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa. He don't care about striking out. He don't care about throwing an interception. He's going to take a shot downfield. Whenever he sees it, takes a shot, and this one connects for 6 points.
Yes, but it's more than just that he's taking shots downfield. He's doing more precise work than that. He's picking apart this one sideline. He's taking advantage of these guys not communicating. In Face playing the safety, Red playing the corner. These two guys got to communicate on that sideline. If not, Kuda's going to keep picking them apart, and Dash is going to keep getting through this defense to get them scores. They did that 2 times in a row, and it don't look like they're going to try to slow down anytime soon.
UTF is going to get the ball, but they're going to go 4 and out here. Heckel throws the Nas in the gap for a decent game. Second out, Heckel throws a Kenny in the gap, getting him to the 13-yard line. Like I said, Heckel is a master at chopping the field up. You give him that short, intermediate passes, he's going to take it. Third and goal, Heckel finds Mizzo open in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Dre gets the extra point. 14-13, they take the lead right back. If you look here, too many defenders watching the quarterback. They never look at the receivers who the quarterback is looking at, and Hecko makes them pay, and they take the lead.
And this is not looking good because if you give a quarterback like Hecko this much comfort in the pocket, finding his receivers, he's going to pick you apart, and that's exactly what they're doing here. This is a shootout going back and forth. It's all up to which defense is going to which defense makes the first mistake or which offense makes the first mistake. But if you're playing defense like this where you're not communicating and you're not tracking the receivers properly, you're going to be the team to fall apart. And it looks like that right now as Hecko's having an easy time getting them right back into the end zone.
My mistakes, the score is 15-13 UTF. My apologies on the score. Next play, he's going to get a nice return, getting them all the way to the 48-yard line. Home team can't score before the half, and we go into the half, 15-13 UTF.
And right now, yes, I would say that it's pretty much even back and forth. Obviously, UTF has the advantage with the 2-point conversion that they scored, but it looks like both teams are evenly matched right now. Both teams able to score right out of the half, right out of the first half, both times. Defenses are not communicating. So the thing about UTF is, as long as they keep Hecko comfortable, like I said earlier, he's going to be able to make these plays. You put him under too much pressure, you make too many mistakes, it's going to make Hecko make too many decisions that he don't need to make. Keep him comfortable, keep him in the pocket, open the gaps, take advantage of the defense. If they're able to keep consistent in the second half, they have a good chance of getting away with this win.
Now, I like the fact that home team is attacking, but my only issue is, you know what I said when I coach? I won't allow anything in the win that I wouldn't in the loss. He's taking too many shots downfield. He's looking for the home run. And there he don't have the supporting cast of the defense. So if I'm home team, you got to slow down this attack. Everybody's seen the Phoenix type offense in basketball. Everybody saw the Houston type offense in basketball. Eventually, in the playoffs, when it gets slowed down, those touchdowns becomes interceptions or miscues. I think you got to slow down a passing attack. This UTF defense can adjust, especially having a guy back there in a Dre. He has to be careful. I think I want to slow the game down, especially that I see Hecko slowing the game down to be more precise. Maybe not want to take so many shots downfield. And on the defensive side of the ball, this defense is pathetic. Hecko is completing mostly all of his passes. He completed at least 80% of his passes. You got to make this guy throw some incompletions. If not, he is going to kill you and milk the clock at the same time. We're going to have to see what happens in the second half. UTF gets the ball. Second down, Hecko throws deep to G, guarded by E, caught for a big gain and the first down. Now, let me tell you something. You got to realize sometimes you got to get that bit out of the street. And G goes upstairs and makes a catch on his neck. And the problem is, E is more interested in talking than making plays. There is no way a guy like G, who cannot jump over a deck of cards, who does not have blazing speed, is able to make this play over E, and that is purely effort. He wanted it more than E. E's worrying about the sideline and not making plays, and G makes him pay for it with this huge catch right here.
But I'll say more than that. I believe that this play right here, this is a clear mismatch, and Hecko saw it right away. Now, yes, is E faster than G? Yes. But one thing that G has is the size advantage, and the fact that he's able to run his route and take the inside. As soon as E get caught on the outside, it's over. It's all she wrote, because all Hecko has to do is put it where G can get it, and that's exactly what happens for that huge play that they get to keep the drive going.
UTF with short runs for a few yards, and Dash gets hurt on this play, and he has to step out. Well, that's going to be huge, because on second and goal, Hecko finds Nas in front of the end zone for the touchdown. 22-13, they take the lead, but if you look here, Kuda with a flag on the late hit. That is a huge flag. That shows this team is not disciplined. We've seen that with E talking too much and G making a catch over him. And now this play with Kuda getting a 15-yard penalty. What do you think of the drive?
I think that one thing that kind of threw them off was the fact that Dash got hurt on that one running play here. And I think that this is kind of one thing that kind of threw their momentum off whack, because Who was the one that was scoring both of their first touchdowns in the first half? That was Dash. He was their main key, moving the offense forward, and losing him and having him not being as efficient because he got hurt. It can hurt your offense. It can hurt your morale. And I don't know what Kuda was thinking there. I guess he got frustrated because the defense is not stopping them at all, and he decided to take matters in his own hands. But he has to get this defense focused on the task at hand. They're losing it right now. They're not able to stop this UTF offense, so they got to adjust. And him getting that flag does not help them at all.
Right now, the score is 22-13. Second down, Kuda on fire rush, throws a dash in the middle. That's going to be dropped. Fourth down at the 20-yard line, Kuda throws the E in the front of the end zone, knocked away by Kenny. Turnover on downs. What do you think of that play?
And this pass was put right. It was put too close to the defender to make a play. If you look at E's route here, all Kuda has to do is lead E on the pass on the inside. Throw it a little bit more to the inside, and he has an opportunity to get it away from Kenny, the defender who's right near him. So on plays like this, you have to lead the receiver into the play. Don't throw it where the receiver is, because that's going to give the defender a good shot at knocking it down. That's exactly what happens there. That's an opportunity miss.
Yeah, because E, as we saw in the beginning when E got the rest of the flag,
yes,
he beat Kenny on a come across, which is why Kenny grabbed him. This play, he beat Kenny again, but the pass is thrown in the wrong spot. And I said the thing about Kuda is he struggles with his accuracy. The guy has a strong arm, but he's not the most accurate all the time. And he allows the defender to make a play here to knock down the ball. They're going to get stopped 2 times in a row, 22-13. UTF gets the ball back. Hecko with blocking from Will, runs for a decent gain. And if you look here, Kuda comes with him with a late hit. He's going to be ejected. Their starting quarterback is going to get ejected after getting his second personal foul. Both on 2 consecutive boneheaded mistakes by him. He's ejected. Tell me about that play.
First of all, it was a routine play where they ran the ball. Kuda, playing the giver, cannot get through Will, who's blocking, and he gets frustrated as Hecko's able to get some good yardage. You just got to make it to the next play. You cannot lose it here. You cannot afford this to happen. You are the leader of this team as the quarterback. Without you, these things do not move forward. Obviously, you're here for a reason, and losing you throws everything out of place, especially the fact that you're still in striking distance to win this game. So this is not something that they needed at this point. Unfortunately, Kuda loses cool, and he ends up getting ejected when they need him the most.
Hecko with 2 passes in the gap for a nice gain, getting him to the 15-yard line. Third and goal, Hecko in the corner of the end zone for the touchdown. Base gets the extra point. 29, 13, UTF 2-score lead.
And right then, as soon as the quarterback got ejected, that just showed the momentum was thrown out the window. But I don't even think that matters, because this defense couldn't guard anybody anyway. They haven't stopped this UTF offense at all in this game. So again, I can understand the frustrations of Kuda and why, he kind of did what he did. Not to say that it's merited, but when you have a defense that's not able to stop the opposing offense at all, of course you're going to get frustrated. Of course you're going to do things to maybe do something crazy to hype up your team, because even you throwing the ball isn't helping. Some spark. They need something, but it's not working right now because this defense, again, can't guard anybody.
You know what's funny about that? They're going to get the ball back right now and go 4-0. And what did you say? You said that home team needs a spark.
Yeah.
Well, their top player, look what he's doing right now. He's talking to the UTF sideline. That's what he's doing. This guy, I don't know, it's like a girlfriend, and it's like your ex-girlfriend when you break up, and she says she don't love you, she don't want you, but she's complaining, and she's bickering, and she sounds like she really missed you and really mad that you broke up with her, because this is what he's doing. His team needs him. They just lost their quarterback. He hasn't really made any big plays in this game. Their best player, Dash, who scored 2 touchdowns, got injured and already dropped the pass on his next drive, which shows he's dealing with the injury. And rather than E step it up or get the troops together, he rather talk. So we see where this team is going after their starting quarterback got ejected. Home team with 2 drop passes, including one by the guy talking, E with this drop in the gap. 3rd down, Whitey throws deep to Dash in the back of the end zone, passes tipped by Dre, incomplete. Last play of the game, White throws it up in the end zone. That's going to be dropped, picked off by Red. End of the game, UTF comes away with a win, 29-13.
Listen, one, you made a good point when it came to, E with the whole, the broken relationship thing or whatever. That's what it sounded like when he was arguing with them. He was more focused on trying to talk them up and trying to prove that he's the man or whatever. He put himself in front of his team. That's literally what he did. He made it about himself. And because he made it about himself, he wasn't able to get everybody else in the game the way that they needed to. This defense played pathetic. And his arguing with the other side did not help. Why? Because at the end of the day, it's you that's going home. So you're just proving their point that they're better without you. That's literally what you did. Rather than worry about something, rather than worry about what's going on with your team and focus on your team first, he worried about them. And because of that, it threw everything out of whack. Kuda, another one who was playing well in the first half, started to fall apart. He started to lose himself, and he got 2 consecutive flags on 2 consecutive drives that threw him off out of the game. You don't need that. You already had your most hot player get injured and not play the same. So you got to get these guys, change up strategies, talk to guys, figure out what you're doing wrong. None of that happened in this game, and because of that, they ended up losing worse when the game was relatively close up until the end, and they just fell apart and pretty much gave up.
We got an interview with some guys from UCF. We'll talk to them, and then we'll bring it back.
What's going on? Stephen J, Real Tough Talk here with UTF. They came in with the win over Home Team, 29-13.
Who's Home Team?
Gee, how did y'all seem to keep all levels, cylinders, keep going? Like, y'all was all continually in attack mode.
We just come out here prepared to play football, man. We've been doing this for a long time, bro. Like, when this is like, everybody always talk about the regular season. It's 2 different seasons to football. It's regular season and it's money time season. And when it's money time season, you got to go with what you go with, man. Same thing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, man. You know how we do, man. UTF, man.
Mike, how did you feel being able to go back to the championship but beat your former player to get there in the Rico?
Oh, it felt good. It felt real good. He was talking all game. All game he was talking. Now he's going home. That's it. Send him home packing.
Dirt, you seem to get into it with him a little bit during the game. Is there any personal animosity going on between y'all?
No, I think there's more animosity towards him and UTF. I don't know what happened before, but what happens now. But like I told him, whatever you got personal with them, I pick it up, but still, we grown men, and I respect him like a man. I don't think like any extras should be, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, he got packed up.
Last question, G. Hecko looked great. He was ready to score, just keep attacking, limit his mistakes. I don't think he threw any interceptions, and he didn't. How was you able to keep him so calm, comfortable, and consistently in attack mode?
I ain't gonna lie, man. With that guy Hecko, man, he's growing a lot. A lot of people say, oh, Hecko can't do this, Hecko can't do that. But I ain't gonna lie, with me and Hecko, man, it's like, it's chip, man. Like, if you see anything else with UTF, man, it's a chip, man. And, yo, shout out to Hecko, man. He's working. He's going through all the trials and tribulations with his ex. That's his guy. He's his guy. That's the guy he goes pick up after dice game. When he's out there all night and all that, Hecko goes pick him up. That's his guy. And for him to come out and perform there and see me one-on-one with him, and see me one-on-one with him and throw that, man, yo, shout out to Hecko, man. Hey, I'm like OT right now. That's my quarterback, man.
Well, guys, UTF is going to the chip. They're going to play the winner of this game. So you see them hanging around watching. We can see y'all on the site. All right.
Shout to those guys. Appreciate the interview. I'll get on both teams right now, and we'll wrap it up. First of all, Home Team, a team that came off of a close win to Young Guns 14-13, showed that they got lucky versus Young Guns. Because what did they do? They come back and score 13 points. Their quarterback gets ejected. Their top player, who I would say I don't think is their best player, I think Dash is better, only because Dash is more humble. Career has been, he worries so much about talking. This kid is talent. I've seen a lot of talent all over football, and E is right there. The problem with it is he talks too much. The problem is he feels like he always got to consistently prove your toughness. Listen, if people don't think you're tough by now, they never, no matter what you do, they're not going to think it. Nobody ever questions E's toughness. Mm-hmm. They question E's leadership. And he proved that he is not a leader. Because when Kuda got that first flag, he was supposed to be in Kuda's face like, we need you. When Dash got hurt, he's supposed to tell the guys, we got to step up. But he was more worried about his ex. He was more worried about the pain that his ex gave him. And I was disappointed in that. Dash got injured, was not the same. You can't go from 2 touchdowns in the first half to dropping 2 passes in the second half. That's clearly injury. But we see Dash drop some passes before. He dropped the pass in the championship game. What happened? Coming off of what? Injury. If you remember, he got injured that game also. So Dash has to worry about keeping healthy because it seems like when he gets a little bump and bruises, which the game's going to bring you, he's not going to be consistent in catching the football. And guys are going to look to punish him because he doesn't come away with the same type of game after that. UCF side, this team looked good from go. Heckel scored on every possession. This team put up 41 points their last game versus the South. And now they followed up with 29 points this game. This team is a team to beat in this division. If they can keep it together and not get caught up in the hype and be who they are, they can make noise. Shout to G leading this team. This guy's a leader. Shout to guys like Dre, Kenny, Rich. Am I saying his name? Mizo, I'm sorry. I like that guy. That guy's going to be a problem. And most importantly, Heckel. This guy made plays, and this guy can win this team a championship. We're going to wrap this one up with UTF eliminating home team 29-13, and now they move on to the championship. We'll be right back.
I don't want to see them catching open passes with nobody around. Somebody around, I want y'all on them. Somebody around, I want y'all on them. They're going to make plays. We just got to make more plays. That's it. I know each and every one of y'all know how I felt last season to lose the chip. We got to get back. They the ones that beat us. In order to get back there, we got to beat them. Let's return this favor. It's time to punch in. Y'all want to get paid, punching down, and let's punch them. Let's go.
Make more a quarterback. You're the bigger team as opposed to
a quarterback. They're going to be physical.
That's right.
Run. Prime time football. Prime time on 3, y'all. Let them hear it. 1, 2, 3. Prime time. Don't say it.
I will. Ain't no next week, so let's lock in from the beginning of the game to the end. Defense is going to be big as usual. You know what I'm saying? Let's do what we do, yeah. Let's make their job harder on every play.
This team running nowhere. That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Let's make their job harder on every play. Yo, let's make our receptions, and if something happens, just pick your brother up. Next
Whatever we did last week,
we win and lose as a family.
All of y'all.
1, 2, 3, cycles, 4, 5, 6, family. 1, 2, 3, cycles, 4, 5, 6, family.
Let's get it, boy. All right, people, thank you for coming back with us. We're going to go over the next game. It's going to be Primetime versus Cycles. Primetime, the number 2 seed, coming in versus Cycles, the number 8 seed. Now, Primetime beat East New York to get here, 22-14. But Cycles won the wild card game, and they beat Solar Game 32-8. Then they played Storm in the next round, coming off of the wild card, 33-14. Now, we might hear, we know that's that Cycles are a number 8 seed, but their starting quarterback is Prince Mo, who's thrown in the A.
Mm-hmm.
Mace, who we see make consistent great plays on that Super Friends offense. Benny, who me and you both agree is the next upcoming superstar. I think he's touching the star potential.
Mm-hmm.
And he plays for, I believe he's playing with YMM. Then Leak, another guy who we think has the ability to get to that star level. Believe he's playing with YMM. So them 4 guys alone are all playing in the A division. So, you know, this team is strong. They have firepower, and they're defending champs. You know, all them players didn't play with this team before when they was in the lower division. They moved up. You know, Prince Mo didn't throw for them when they were in the lower division. He's throwing for them now. So this team has a lot of firepower. But Tiki has played against them. Prince Mo has played with him. Chris, also, another guy I left out. You know, we call him Flash. His kid speed is ridiculous. He's a great return man. You know, definitely can play some defense and offense. Another guy on this Psycho's team. So this team has got weapons. You know what I mean? But they play Tiki, a guy who's coached some of them guys on the team. And he only comes in, I believe, with one guy who's really played in the A division, and that's Meek. You know, Pig used to play in the A. So, you know, he got some other guys, but his best player on this team is Meek. So, you know, Tiki's going to have to use brain power, especially seeing that the Psychos has scored a combined 65 points in 2 games, in 2 playoff games.
I mean, obviously the strategy going in has to be focused on the defense. The defense has to find a way to lock down a lot of these receivers, a lot of these targets that Prince Mo is going to be looking for. And another thing that they're going to have to do is keep Prince Mo in the pocket. If they let him run around all over the field, he's going to be hard to stop, and he's going to open up the gaps for the rest of the rest of the receivers. So they got to keep Prince Mo under the control. And I think that's the key to them stopping this offense. If they're able to do that, they have a good shot in this game.
And I'm not going to take nothing away from Primetime, because Tiki's a mastermind. Mister has improved ever since he came to this Primetime camp. And they got a guy who also used to play in the A, and Baca. You know, Baca's a great safety. The kid brings energy, and he's physical. You know, so I don't want to make it seem like they don't got good guys. Juju's a good guy. Lonnie's a good guy. They got some weapons on this side, but I think Psychos have more talent than Primetime, which Primetime has to play more team ball in order to beat. So we're gonna have to see what happens. We got an interview with some players from each team. We're gonna go and talk to them, and we'll be right back.
What's going on? Stephen J here with Tiki, coach of Primetime, where they beat East New York last week to get to this point here, but they got Psychos. They got Psychos who beat you in the chip last year. Do you feel it's payback time now that you get Psychos again in order to get to the chip?
It's no other way to look at it. It could have been Psychos, it could have been Storm, it could have been anybody. They the team stopping us from getting back to the chip. Unfortunately, they beat us in the chip last season. So yes, added incentive to try to get them back.
Is it a little different because you wasn't there last year in the chip game?
I mean, obviously there's going to be some type of difference because I'm here, but the team had the game plan last year. We just didn't execute. Hopefully now that I'm here, if any adjustments needed to be made, I can make them faster than the team did last season.
How do you slow down their starting quarterback, Prince Mo, who's your former player on Primetime?
Well, he was a former wide receiver. I always knew he could quarterback. We just got to not make it easy for him. Take away his simple reads, watch Mace, and Benny doesn't kill us today.
What Mister got to do versus that defense?
Do what he's been doing all season. He's been scoring 4 or 5 touchdowns all season. He gives us 4 or 5 touchdowns this game. We should be in the chip next week.
All right, we're going to thank Tiki for being here. We're going to wish him good luck. We're going to see you on the site. What's going on? Stephen J, Real Tough Talk, talking to Chris of the Psychos. Right now they play Primetime to go to the chip. You play a team that y'all beat in the championship last year. You play your former coach. Is that like a little incentive? Do you think they're gonna come gunning for you? They beat y'all in the chip last. You beat them in the chip last year.
They're definitely gonna be gunning for us because they're gonna tell us we owe. They're gonna say you guys this is payback. We beat them for the money, and it was our first year in the league. But now, okay, it's not. I'm not gonna make it more personal than what it is already. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be a little bit more excitement because it's old friends, old teammates, old coaches. But it is what it is. It's football at the end of the day.
Y'all guys finished, I think y'all was the number 7 seed, but y'all were one of the most feared teams in the playoffs. How is it that y'all able to have a regular season that is not to write home about, but come playoffs, win?
It's tough when you're scheduling around other leagues and other teams and injuries. Things happen. But you make enough games, you qualify, and the cohesiveness is there. It's money time. You got to lock in regardless.
Last question. What do you think Tiki got planned for Prince Moore at quarterback? You know, he kind of knows him. He was one of his former players. What do you think he's going to try to throw at Prince Moore?
Yo, I know y'all kicked my man out the chat because y'all thought he was going to tell us the game plan. It didn't matter. Whatever the game plan is, it doesn't matter. Win.
We're going to thank Chris. He just dropped the mic on that one. We're going to see what happens in the game, man. See you on the site.
All right. Shout to Chris. Shout to Tiki. You know, we had a chance to speak to both of them. And now we're going to jump into the game with Cycles getting the ball first. After getting the first down, Prince Moore throws the JR open on the sideline for a nice gain, getting him to the 7-yard line. If you look here, Pratt gets caught watching the quarterback and leaves him open. 3rd and goal, Prince Moore throws to Chris in the front of the end zone, knocked away by me. 4th and goal, Prince Moore throws to JL, cutting in the front of the end zone, off target, incomplete, turnover on downs. JL wanted a hole. He actually came to me after this possession and asked me to watch the hole. What do you think? Was he held on this play?
On this one, it's not as clear as he makes it seem. I'm looking at it. It may have been contact briefly, but I don't see enough for it to be a hold. Maybe I'm not looking at it in the right angle, but I don't see enough contact to merit a hold. Maybe that's why the refs didn't throw the flag. That's unfortunate because that's an opportunity missed. But my thing is, on a play like this, I think that Prince Moore threw it in the wrong area anyway. I've seen J.O. make some hard catches to win championship games. So you put the ball in front of him where he can make a play. You see Meek behind him. Because of that, J.O. already has the advantage in the front of the end zone. Throw it in front of him where J.O. can get it. Because you're making him reach out on the side, it gives Meek the opportunity to make a play on it. And because of that, that was an incomplete pass. Make a play, make J.O. catch that right in front of him. He does that, I think this would have probably been a different outcome here.
All right. Primetime gets the ball back. Mr. throws a chuck on the sideline who runs for a decent gain. Mr. throws the line, he cutting in the middle. That's going to be dropped. Primetime has to punt. That's a great stop by the Cycles team. Like I said, we know we talk about their offense, but their defense gave up 8 points one game, 14 points another game, both in 2 playoff games. So they can play some defense. And they make the stop here. Great stop by them, forcing Primetime to punt. Cycles get the ball back. Prince Moore with 2 passes in the gap for a decent gain. Prince Moore on 5 rush, throws to J.O. cut in the gap with contact from Pratt. J.O. can't hold on to an incomplete. J.O. got to catch that ball. Prince Moore's looking for him, especially in the gap. You just talked about it. I think this one he got the ball where J.O. needed it. J.O. does not come away with the catch. But Pratt is a banger. That's what Pratt does. He's a physical guy. He makes a great play here, and J.O. can't come up with the catch. 4th down, Prince Moore on 5 rush, rolls right, throws to Benny in the back of the end zone. High turnover on downs. If you look here, everybody is covered. And that's the 2nd time they're able to stop Cycles in the red zone. Great stop by this defense at Primetime.
And them locking up all of these receivers and giving Prince Moore no options to make any plays, that's a way to play defense. And then knowing that Prince Moore does not have any real area to run the ball, so that's efficient defense all around, especially in late on that play, because he's under pressure, he's not able to make an accurate throw to Benny. Regardless if he had some space to make that throw or not, the fact that he's under pressure, it keeps Prince Moore on his toes, and because of that, he's not accurate enough to make that pass. That's a good turnover there.
3rd down after a short pass, Smith on 5 rush, throws a Meek in the gap, pass is high, incomplete. 4th down, Mr. throws deep to Pratt, open on the sideline, drop, turnover on downs. If you look here, he has a receiver in the gap. And I know you're going to talk about that. But first of all, I don't know if guys listen. I don't know if guys watch the show. I give my opinion, and it's my opinion. But usually I always give my opinion based on facts and numbers. I've consistently said Pratt should never play offense. If he's not blocking, he's not catching. Don't think that he's that kid that played in Little Giants and made a catch finally. Don't think he's that kid from that dude that played in unnecessary roughness and made a catch all of a sudden. Those are receivers that cannot catch the ball. They can't catch. Pratt cannot catch. It takes two hands to catch. The problem with Pratt is both of his hands are left. So he catches like this. He can't catch the football. This is a money play. Now, I don't know. You can't get on Mister for making his throw because he's just throwing to a guy that's open. I'm telling you, don't throw him. So when you see Pratt open downfield, you should see a video of me like Jiminy Cricket saying this. Pratt can't catch. Stop throwing him the ball deep. Now, he had another receiver open. Now, the thing is, what I tell you happens to the mind when it's under stress. When the mind is under stress, it constantly goes back to the nature of habit. Mister is a home run hitter. That's what he knows. Going to primetime, Tiki has changed him. He's under pressure. They haven't scored. He's looking for a big play. So instead of taking a guaranteed play to get a first down, he takes the low percentage throw of going deep to Pratt, calls for disaster, and what's going to happen? They're going to turn over the ball. You talk about the receiver.
Listen, regardless.
I apologize, but Pratt should never be thrown the ball. Go ahead.
Listen, at the end of the day, I don't think, listen, they were all screaming on the sideline, look at Pratt, look at Pratt. They should have been like, don't throw to Pratt, don't throw to Pratt, please, like you just said. Because there's no excuse for dropping that pass. No excuse. But I look at it this way. When you weigh your options, when you look at, look downfield, Pratt is open. And you look at the receiver wide open. I believe that's Macho. Don't quote me if I'm wrong. He's wide open for the first down. Remember, this is fourth down. You go for the either guarantee here and you get 4 plays from that area, good position on the field, or you put all your chips in for Pratt downfield. What do you think is the most logical choice to make? Obviously, this primetime team, obviously Mister, obviously I'm taking these guys on the sidelines, all betting on Pratt, and they lose all their chips to the house.
This is why people lose their house. That's why people lose their house. Listen, Pratt can't catch a cold butt naked in Alaska eating a Snickers.
You love that phrase.
I stole that from Tuff. But anyway, it gets stopped. I got to put that on Tiki because that's play calling. I don't know why Pratt is going downfield. All jokes aside, this is a playoff game to go to a championship. You already shut down these cycles, the offense 2 times in a row, and to give them an extra opportunity for a ball when you could have kept driving the ball, that's coaching. I got to put that on Tiki. Prince Moore in this offense gets the ball back. Prince Moore with a pass to Mace on the sideline for a decent game. Second down, Prince Moore finds Zeke in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. 6-0. They take the lead. If you look here, Baca left guard and no one as the other defender slides and leaves Zeke open, and they make him pay for it.
And coming off of that turnover, now the defense is not communicating. This does not look good when you make 2 mistakes in a row on 2 drives, one on offense, and now your defense is making issue on problem 2. On this right here, no communication. Baca has no idea who's behind him. He's following the quarterback, and because of that, nobody's communicating with him. You see, I believe that's the back end, that's the safety. He leaves to guard the next receiver on the sideline. But he has to because he's on a pick your poison situation. There's a receiver open on the sideline, and there's a receiver open on the other side. So he has to pick which one. And because of that, and then Baca's left guarding nobody, he has no choice but to pick one. Prince Moore's able to find the other receiver, wide open for the touchdown. There's a big mistake that comes back to you not communicating on defense, and it gives up 6 points.
Primetime gets the ball back after getting the first down. Mister throws a Pratt in the gap who runs for a decent game. That pass you can throw to him. Anything above 10 yards, do not throw to Pratt unless you're going to hand it to him. But he makes a big play here. Wait for Mister to come back to him to build his confidence there. Third down, Mr. on fire brush, throws to Baca on the sideline. Nice game getting him to the 1 yard line. Listen, Baca's a playmaker. He's a little underrated. He can make plays on both sides of the ball. He makes a great play here. 4th and goal, Mr. with blocker from Pratt, runs it into the end zone for the touchdown. Sean gets the sack on an extra point, but it's 6-6. They tie the game back up.
And the thing about this play here, I think that they were kind of arguing because they didn't want him to rush in to get the touchdown too quickly. I don't know what that was about. You know, I guess they want to try to get another possession out of this. You don't want to take a chance on a 4th down play to not take advantage of you on the 1 yard line or the 2 yard line and getting into the end zone. Don't take any chances after you lost that gamble on that last drive. You don't want to take any chance of this one. And Mr. I think he makes the right decision going right into the end zone. I'm getting them for the score here.
6-6. Primetime throws the ball up on the onside. Mace tips and drops the ball, and Pratt with the recovery. This is what Pratt does. Pratt is a great blocker. Pratt can catch the ball a little bit within 5 yards. Pratt is definitely a banger. He's physical, and these are the plays he comes up with on this fumble. Great play by Pratt to give Primetime an extra possession. And shout to Tiki because he'd seen his guy make a big drop, which cost him getting a 1st down. And him and Pratt, having played together for years, built the confidence that Pratt knows you got to let that go. And we've seen Pratt make 2 plays after that, helping this offense. Great play by them, but that's a big mistake by Mace. Mace is too talented to make these mistakes, and he gives up this ball, giving it right back to Primetime.
And this is at a point in time where they cannot afford to make plays like that. And that's exactly what happened. Mace getting caught off guard. This is not something that the veteran like Mace should be doing at this point in time. So you got to focus on these onside plays because, again, you're in the BQFL. Everybody knows how to throw onside. You got to be prepared for these types of plays. And it looks like Mace got caught sleeping on a play like this. And that leads to Primetime getting the ball right back.
2nd down, Mr. on fire rush, throws to Lonnie, who has a step on Mace in the middle, caught in the end zone for the touchdown. Lonnie also gets the extra point. 13-6, Primetime takes the lead. Now, let me tell you something. We just see Mace drop the ball to give it up, and then we see Mace get cooked. What I like about this play, Mace is not a great defender. I'm going to call a spade a spade. And you know who knows that? Tiki. You know who knows that from Tiki? Mr. And you know who knows that from Mr.? Lonnie. Because they ran all 3, they went through all 3 guys, and they knew to go after Mace. Lonnie had a chance to make, I believe, a double move to beat Mace. For Mr. to hold the ball that long, for a receiver like Lonnie to make that play, means they were what? Going after Mace. And they come away with it with 6 points.
And like I said, when I said earlier that Lonnie has to make these type of plays, that's exactly what he does. As soon as his number's called, he's able to make a big play, get separated away from the defender, catch a Mace off guard. I don't think Mace expected them to attack him so quickly, right after them getting the ball like that. So the fact that they were able to take advantage of Mace getting caught sleeping on the onside throw, and then catch him off guard again on this pass here, that is good coaching by Tiki. That's good focus by Mr. And that's a good throw right there because that's an accurate throw being right past Mace, right past another defender. That's a way to take advantage of you getting the ball back, putting some more points on the board.
Last play for a half. Cycles get the ball at the 20-yard line. Prince Moore, fire brush, rolls right, throws to Chris in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. Leak gets the 2-point conversion. 14-13, they take the lead going into the half, and this is why this team is dangerous. This is why this team scored 32 points in the wild card game, scored 33 points in the very game after that. This team has the talent to do this, and that is a slap in the face for everything Primetime did because this was a long play. They took a shot. This was the last play. And they disrespected Prince Moore earlier, thinking that they had this strategy to stop him, and he made them pay. Chris is a UFL most improved player. Why? Because his game has elevated. He makes them pay right here, and they take the lead going into the half.
And if you look at this play here, he catches the defense off guard here, right back. If you look here, first of all, look at the rollout right here. catches Juju jumping, and he's able to buy some more time for himself to roll out to the right and throw not a Hail Mary. He throws a shot right in front of the end zone where Chris can get it, catches defense off guard. When they're looking for the Hail Mary, looking for the jump ball, he throws it right in front of the end zone. Chris is left wide open for the score, getting them right back into this game after giving up a touchdown, putting himself right back into striking distance of this game. Way to stay focused after so many mistakes being made to end the half, battling back and forth with this primetime team.
That's going to take us into the half. 14-13. Cycles take the lead. Listen, Cycles had the ball 5 times. They're 2 for 5. They got stopped twice in the red zone. Then they scored. Then they fumbled the ball, and then they scored. First of all, this team is too talented for this game to be this close. Mace has to get more involved in the game. Mace's first pass he caught came on their 3rd possession. He's too talented for that. He fumbled the ball after that. Then he gave up a 6 points on a route. He got to get focused. I don't need the trash talk. I don't need none of that. I need a Mace that I've seen win championships. That's what he's done. I've seen it. That's what I need. Prince Mo is the better quarterback. He has to know that. He has to make plays because they're trying to box him in and not allow him to roll. He has to find a way out the pocket. Now, that's a great way to catch Juju jumping. Why would you jump on the last play of the day? I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's a great play by them. I need to see guys like Benny get involved. Benny likes the camera. Well, the camera's rolling. I need you to do something. That's why Benny has not really hit that next level. Because sometimes he's so worried. And sometimes when you try so hard to make plays, you don't. I need to see him do something. I already seen Leak do something. I need to see him do something. We seen Leak do something. We seen Chris do something. And we see Prince Mo inconsistent in the first 2 drives, but finally comes away with some points here. I need Mace to check in. Hello, Mace, we got a game. Benny, we got a game. You need those 2 guys to step up because those are the guys that's going to get looked because they're too talented not to. On the other side of the ball, we have to make Mr. One-dimensional. If we're going to make him go downfield, we have to take away his short game. If we're going to take away his short game, vice versa. You know, we can't let him do whatever he wants, throwing the ball all around the yard. It seems like that's what he's doing. Dump balls, going downfield. We got to slow that down if we want to have a win with this game.
And when you look at Primetime, when you look at their offense, they kind of started off really slow in this game. They couldn't get anything going. They couldn't get into the end zone, kept getting stopped. And then that first touchdown, they were able to score. And the last 2 times they were on the field on offense, they were able to score. So Mr. starting to get into a rhythm towards the end of the half. The defense has to find a way to take Prince Mo out of his game. They're able to do that and give Mr. opportunity to stay comfortable and get some more points and get his offense going. They have a good shot, but they gotta hold and keep this keep Prince Mo out of focus. Put pressure on him. Whatever you have to throw, do. Switch up the defense, lock up, but always keep Prince Mo on his toes and do not let him run. Do not give him the space to make plays like he did at the end of the half. Keep him in the pocket, force him to make these passes, and your defense will be able to make stops. They're able to do that and give Mr. opportunity to move the way he is right now. They have a good shot of winning this game.
We're going to jump into the second half. After getting the first down, Mr. on 5 rush throws a march who has a step on Tim, caught in the gap for a nice gain. Great play by Mr. Like you said, that guy's building up confidence. Second and goal, Mr. on 5 rush runs in for the touchdown. If you look here, Sean just misses the tag and he's blocked by Pratt. Liney gets a 2-point conversion, 21-14. They take the lead right back.
And this is a good decision by Mr. taking advantage of a block by Pratt, and he runs right in for the score. This is, again, Mr. hasn't always been known to make great decisions in times like these, but as time has been going on, Mr. has been getting better at making big plays in these big moments, and that's exactly what he's been doing in this game. keeping his momentum going. This is his 3rd touchdown in a row. This defense is struggling to stop him, and he's taking advantage of that, and he's looking real good right now.
Primetime goes onside again, and Mace barely recovers the ball. Mace, if you can't catch the ball straight up on the onside, you don't need to be there, because they got close to losing this one too. Great strategy by Tiki, but they keep the ball. After getting the 1st down, Prince Mo throws a Chris in the gap. That's going to be dropped. 3rd down, Prince Mo throws deep to Mace on the sideline, overthrown, incomplete. Cycles have to punt. Great defensive stop by them. One big drop, one big misthrow. Prince Mo sometimes struggles with his accuracy. We've seen him make 2 throws that he kind of missed. The one he missed Benny, and this one, and now they're going to have to punt.
And because, again, he's forced to stay in the pocket, so when the defense is able to lock up, Prince Mo has no option. Usually on plays like this, he's able to take off and get some yardage with his feet. He's not able to do that here. Excuse me. He's not able to do that here, so he's forced to stay in the pocket and make plays. And because of that, he's not going to be as consistent. As long as his defense is playing this way, Prince Mo is going to have a hard game. And right now, they're doing their job stopping him yet again.
2nd down as Mr. gets the ball. He throws a wand on the sideline, almost picked off by Tim. Tim just missed that interception. 3rd down, Mr. throws it Leak open on the sideline for a nice gain. If you look here, Leak rushes in, forcing Chris to lead the sideline. That's going to be a 1st down. Great play there. 2nd down, Mr. on fire rush, throws the line in the gap, picked off by Chris, who runs it all the way to the 40-yard line, giving the ball back to the Psychos. And this is the Mr. we all remember. He scored 3 times in a row, but eventually, when he's throwing the ball around the yard, and instead of, they usually run the ball, listen, the more Mr. throws the ball, the more he's likely to make a mistake. Chris baits him, gets the ball back for the Saints. Big interception.
And if you look at earlier with Tim almost getting that interception, that was a warning right there to kind of be careful. This defense is starting to read you. This defense is starting to open their eyes and figure out what you're doing. He doesn't do that, and he doesn't pay attention to that. And on this next play, a few plays down, he's not accurate with this pass here. Throws it right past the defender. Chris is waiting right behind him to make that interception and get a big play, get them some good yardage for their offense to work with. And now they have an opportunity to get right back into the game.
Remember, the score is 21-14, primetime. Prince Mo throws the Drew in the gap, almost picked off by Baca. 3rd down, Prince Mo throws a Benny open in the end zone. That is going to be dropped. Oh, last down, Prince Mo on 5 rush with jail blocking is sacked by Nunu. Primetime rushes 2. Now we're going to sit down and talk about the whole drive here. When he made that throw to Drew in the gap and it's almost picked up by Baca, they were prepared for that play. That was more like a switch play that they call, I believe, and Baca almost had the interception. Great strategy by Tiki. The guy switched off. Baca just couldn't make the play. But then he goes to Benny, and Benny gets open. This is what Benny wants. Benny likes the camera. He likes to be on the show. He likes to show what he can do. And what happens when you like to do all this? Well, you need to like to catch the football. And he comes with one of the biggest drops in his career. Because if he catches this ball, they're right back into the game. If he catches this ball, it is 21-20 if he catches this football. But I guess he was thinking about what celebration dance he was going to do. I don't know if he was going to do maybe Beyonce's Single Ladies. I don't know if he was going to hit him with a Michael Jackson Beat It dance. I don't know if he was going to hit him with one of these new songs that they got out now. Regardless of what he decided he was going to do, when your mind is trying to break all that down, you forget what you're supposed to do, which was catch the football. That is a huge drop, and that is a confidence decreaser. If that's even a word.
Decreaser, yeah.
Big drop by him, giving the ball back to Primetime.
And the thing about it is, I'm not going to stay on it too long because you kind of made the whole point already. But you got on Pret earlier for making a big drop, for dropping a big pass early in the game. The difference between Pret and Benny is, this is what Benny does. He's supposed to be out there making these plays. And for him to make a drop, we're not known for Fred is not known for making big plays like this, so it's not much to be expected that he's going to make that play. Again, we're going to get on him or everything like that. But Benny, this play was worse because this was more important. This would have got them right back into this game. This was an open pass. Prince Mo's working hard to try to get them back in this game. And you drop a wide open pass. That is a morale crusher right there. Especially knowing that this is what you're on the field for. And you're not able to make a big play like that. That hurts the offense all around.
And Primetime gets the ball back. Third down after 2 short passes. Mr. throws a pig for a decent game. Quick is flagged for blocking downfield. 5 yards back. Primetime's going to end up punting. I think they was more likely just trying to kill the clock. So they end up punting on that drive. Prince Mo's going to get the ball. And I think it's like 4 seconds left.
Yeah.
And then Prince Mo's going to throw to Benny. He's going to run. And if you look here, obviously, they're trying to go for a quick dump off, get out of bounds, and throw the ball up on last down. But Benny, who I always said loves the camera, loves to show what he can do, plays around, tries to get extra yard, but doesn't realize he can't stop the clock. It's not about the defenders anymore. It's about the clock. And the clock expires for him trying to get out of bounds when he was supposed to go straight out of bounds. Ending the game, sending Primetime to the championship, 21-14.
And this is a heartbreaker right here if you're the Cycles, because they started off strong in the first half. You know, they made that big play to kind of bring them back into the game. But it's always them trying to catch up from a deficit. Their defense gave up big plays when they were supposed to lock up. They gave Mr. too many opportunities to get into the end zone early in the game, and that came back to bite them in the end. And as soon as they made a mistake on offense, it was pretty much all she wrote. So the main thing that they did wrong is they gave Mr. too many opportunities to keep his momentum going. Because they kept him comfortable in the pocket, he was able to pick them apart later in the game, and that's why they became the win. They came away with the win in this game.
Yeah. We're going to go to an interview real quick after the win. We're going to go to that. We'll be right back.
What's going on? Stephen J here with Brett, the captain of Primetime. We're going to go over both games. Let's go over the first one. The game versus the Psychos. They beat you in the championship last year.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people in touch football will call that stolen money. They kind of stole your money. Did you validate that loss in the championship by winning and eliminating them this year?
You know, the problem last year, our quarterback was hurt. We didn't know. So our game plan went out the window. So this year, we got a set quarterback, came back with a game plan, and finished the job, man. Revenge is sweet, man.
You seem to give Prince Mo some problems.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We seen him make a few mistakes that he doesn't usually make. You didn't really let him beat you with your legs. Was that the strategy coming in?
Strategy, and, you know, we recognize who these players is, key those, and take them away, and then what he going to do? What is he going to do? We got Juju running, chasing him down. He can't go nowhere, so, yeah, we finished that game plan.
We're going to thank him for the interview. They got another game, so we'll talk to them later.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get on this game. First of all, I'm going to talk about Primetime. Shout to Tiki. Great strategy. Yes, they only put up 21 points, but this is more of a defensive team.
Yeah.
They like to run out the clock, and that's what they like. They won this game 22-14, we said?
Yes, 22-14.
21-14.
Okay.
They beat East New York 22-14. So this is what they do. This is how they play the game. So
yeah.
Shout to Tiki, great strategy. Slow down this attack and Mr. kind of limited turnovers through a big interception, but pretty much killed the clock. Had 2 rushing touchdowns, threw another one in. Definitely a great game. They played very well. Now let me get on the Cycles. You can't have that firepower and lose this game. Yeah, we know you was a number 8 seed, but you wasn't really number 8 seed. You didn't have all the guys there every week, so we know that. So don't think that this was 2 beating the 8. No, because if they had their guys every week, this team could easily be a number 1 seed. They won the championship in the division, lower division last year. They moved up. They blew out 2 top teams in the playoffs. This is my question. Their defense gave up 8 points the first game. It was so like game. Gave up 14 points against Storm, gave up 21 points versus Primetime. So they increased. So, I wouldn't say it's alarming, but it was like, okay, teams could score on us. But we hang our hat on what? Offense, right? That's what they do. They put up points. You got Prince Mark quarterback and those weapons I just told you, you're going to put up points. Well, their first game, they scored 32 points. What did they follow it up with? That was a wild card game. They played Storm, who I think was the number 1 seed. They were highest seed. They scored 33 points that game. So they scored 1 point more. Great. You following me?
Mm-hmm.
Then you drop this game to 14 points. How do you score 65 points in 2 games and then drop to 14 points? Pathetic. That makes no sense. I don't understand that. You go 2 for 8 this game. You got stopped in the red zone. You threw a touchdown pass. Awesome. You fumbled. Then you score another touchdown pass. Then in the second half, you go 0 for 3. Punt, stop. I think Tiki outsmarted them. They may not want to give him the props, and it's fine. But there's no way you score 65 points in 2 games and then come and score 14. Something's wrong. If they forget what the end zone looked like? Were they not speaking to each other and decided to matter of fact, maybe they was having a protest against the end zone and said, we're trying to bring up the real estate, so we're going to try to stay out of there as much time as possible to try to bring up the value, because there's no way you go 2 for 8. That doesn't make any sense, especially the way they scored on the last play of the game. That's what they do. They scored on the last play of the game, the last down, the last second of the game, they threw a strike to Chris for the touchdown. And then in the second half, you go 0 for 3. This team, listen, you can sit down and say we got all the talent of the world, but eventually a team is going to beat you when you just try to win on talent. That's what happened this game. 2 of their best players, 2 of their top players, in Mace and Benny, brung nothing. Nothing. Mace got beat. Mace dropped the kickoff on a fumble. Benny dropped the touchdown pass. So when you got Leak, Chris making plays, Prince Mo attempting to make plays, you need all them guys to step up. And Mace and Benny did not. And I was shocked because I've seen Mace take over games in the A division. I've seen people think Benny the next best thing since sliced bread in the A division. And now you're in the C division and you can't make plays. That's because you're feeling yourself a little too much, because your talent just didn't disappear. There wasn't kryptonite buried under the field somewhere. You know what I mean? Something caused you to not play at your best capabilities. And it was because I feel that those players was feeling themselves. They decided to turn it on when they wanted to, and this team paid for it. And Prince Mo struggles with his accuracy at times. It's just the type of quarterback he is. And Tiki shut down his running game, and he made some mistakes, this game. This team lost. This team played like they want to lose, and Primetime helped them do exactly the way they played to want to do, if that all makes sense. So we're going to wrap this one up. Primetime's going to the championship as they beat the Psychos 22-14. We'll be right back.